welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1 minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. Oh, Kyle. Kyle, let me tell you a story. It's about Betty Ross and her magical plaid shirt with skin Velcro, and her ex-boyfriend Bruce Banner and his ED, and I mean excitement dysfunction.
Wow.
What is going on? What?
Let me set the scene for you. It's a romantic little getaway between these two academics.
What happened? We have so much to talk about because
there's actually a lot.
Because the scene, right?
Yeah.
But then we have a deleted scene to talk about that is 1,000 times better.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So here, let's just get rolling because this is minute 67 of 2008's Incredible Hulk movie, directed by Louis Leterrier. This is the love scene, and this is pretty much the only love scene in all the MCU. I mean,
right?
I mean, this is the say this isn't an explicit scene, but it's the most explicit scene we've seen in the MCU.
It's absolutely.
Yeah, it's yeah. So we start out from where they were before, which is there's some light face kissing going on. Then all of a sudden there's a weird edit,
right?
And then suddenly Bruce and Betty are face to face. Might be hard to make that transition like with the camera and keep it in everybody in their lighting correctly and stuff too, because we have the soft romantic light here too. It cuts immediately to them standing next to the bed, and then the full-on makeout session begins.
Okay, so wait, we go from haircut, ear tug, holding hand, moment, and then weird cut, like boom, right?
Yeah,
standing up. Not only is it the kissing, which I mean, I don't. It's not that I don't like.
No, we're trying not to be creepy dudes about this. You know, it is romantic.
But I mean, the strings kick in,
and
you just go, "What just happened?"
Yeah,
and I get it. I mean, because again, this relationship. I mean, they've done a good job, as we've talked about. Mm-hmm. This relationship is a beautiful relationship that's obviously been so injured. And yes, there's this, tender moment that they can share, but it just goes weird.
Yeah, because it's Bruce, and it couldn't go nicely for him. So he starts. They start making out on the bed, and things are getting pretty intense. And he's already wearing the Polar F5 that she got him. Also, we didn't mention this before, but Betty's hair is oddly wet, so it looks like somewhere in between minute 65 and 66, she took a shower.
And then it was traumatic.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, like coming shopping can be heavily traumatic.
She spent a night in a cave.
Yeah,
and then she went shopping. Okay, I understood.
He was just in the bathroom, vomiting out a thumb drive.
Oh my god, this is so horrible.
I know. And then she took a shower, and then so she's just wearing the shirt. So they fall into bed, and they're making out, and then he's wearing his Polar F5 and his heart monitor, and so it starts beeping like crazy because his heart rate is going up, and that's when he puts the brakes on the whole operation.
Okay, now wait, Kyle. I appreciate that you have skipped over something that we must discuss.
Oh, okay.
And I did not think we would ever have this conversation, not only on this...
Are you about to sit me down and talk to me about the birds and the bees?
Not only on this podcast or on anything we do. I never thought it would come to this.
Okay.
So she is laying on the bed. He is on top of her. She's wearing this shirt. In their passionate kiss, she's holding the back of his head. He takes his left arm and grabs her leg and just wraps it around him. And it is so visually, I mean, because it's Liv Tyler's very pretty leg, right? Here's the problem. Her shirt is like magically stuck to her skin in a way that is abnormal, not possible, and it just makes it look so weird. Like the whole time, I'm like, well, the fabric doesn't move like that.
That, my friend, is the power of double-sided tape.
Oh, I mean, it's clearly they said. Now, this is the part that I just can't get over, and we've not seen anything that talks about this in the commentary, I believe, or anything.
No.
When they did this, when they blocked this out and said, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take your leg. I'm going to move your leg over. Yeah. But somebody had to say, oh no, wait, when you do that, her shirt drops. and we can't have that, right? There's too much backside.
Yeah.
So someone did have to get the tape out or spirit gum or whatever and said, no, that's not
probably
happening.
her costumer, like...
I mean, but the fact is, when you see this, you clearly can see that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I go, did nobody just go, okay, what are we doing here? What is this?
Yeah.
Was this necessary? I don't get it.
So there's two little pieces that I wanted to pull out from the dialogue. One is as like basically his heart rate's going up and Bruce slams the brakes on. He says, "We can't do this." And she says, "No, it's okay. I want to." And at this moment, no one's thinking about poor Leonard.
Oh, I forgot about Leonard.
They never even really broke up.
He's done.
Come on. So that was the one thing. And then when he says, "I can't get too excited," and she says, "Not even a little excited?"
I know. That's so, like...
It's a fun line.
It is fun.
He, like, flumps his head down and they immediately cut away to General Ross.
And...
like, whoa, hold on. Oh, that's her dad.
Okay, and guess what? That's where the minute ends. That's it.
Right, that's literally where the minute ends. Like, whoa, okay, weird transition. Okay, so in the commentary, when they talk about this, I can tell you a couple things. One thing, I couldn't find the exact article where he talked about this, but this was one of Zach Penn's original ideas.
Oh, okay.
Like when he was talking about this is they're making out and he can't do it because he might turn into the Hulk. And it was like, oh, okay. Apparently so much so that when Louis Leterrier and Zach Penn were working this out, they actually wrote a much more explicit love scene where the transformation is happening during.
Oh, wait, what?
During coitus.
Oh my God! Hold on. Can we even say that? I don't even know if we can say that.
She looks that basically he said it in the commentary. You can go and listen to it at this minute. Like that they're in flagrante delicto, and she looks up and sees him starting to turn green, and has to be like, oh whoa, okay. Marvel's never gonna go for that. So like, oh okay, let's do the PG version of this where it's like. No, can't do it.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah. So, folks, even if you don't like this, it could have been so much worse.
Oh, come on. Okay. Good Lord. That's not even... Yeah, okay.
So I thought, like, it's one of those things where, like, it ends on that, and it ends like a wah-wah. So I thought, okay, so... what did other people think about this? Because it's not going to be the only one. So I started to look around at some of the internet response to this particular scene. So I came across two different articles. The first one's from sci-fi.com. That's syfy.com. This is from an article called Marvel Cinematic Universe Annotated and Ranked Kisses. So this kiss comes in at number 7. So it was written by a guy named Paul Fisher. He says, in the closest thing the MCU has to a sex scene, Fugitive's Bruce Banner, in his first Edward Norton incarnation, and Betty Ross, Liv Tyler, kiss furiously as they fall into bed, but have to abort the foreplay when Bruce's heart monitor watch warns him he is dangerously close to turning into the Hulk. Points given for embracing two adults wanting a sexual relationship. Points deducted for making it canon that sexual arousal, and not just anger, also turns Bruce into the Hulk, and for making us think about the Hulk having sex generally, to be honest. It's very true.
No, that's a great point, though, about it's not just anger.
I know, which... I don't like.
No. Well, and plus that's retcon. That's changed later on.
Right. Because, also, that's not even the way they portrayed the Hulk at this time. Because he goes for a run. Like, we see him running to stay in shape.
Right.
That would raise your heart rate, too.
Oh,
it's not just about
minute.
heart rate. Like, it's about, like, a defense mechanism.
Oh, no. You're totally right. Yes.
So, it's even that is, like, for, I don't know. It's for this one, that kind of like a dumb joke. I don't think it was worth it. So the second article I found was every romance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe ranked.
Oh.
And this is from Vulture.com. This is from Emma Didbin. Their romance comes in at number 13 of 14.
Oh, okay.
The only one they say was worse than this, Captain America and Sharon Carter.
Well.
So Emma says... serious question. Have you tried watching The Incredible Hulk lately?
Yes, we have.
Because it's technically part of the MCU canon, and it is a wild ride back to a bygone era when screenwriters thought hero types silently into a chat room window for several minutes was a strong scene format.
Ouch.
Very true. Bruce and Betty's romance is a lot more substantial and central to the plot than most. There's a rain-soaked reunion embrace straight off the bat, a series of intense one-on-one conversations, and ultimately a sequence where the pair go on the run together. The problem is there's no rapport between them whatsoever. Liv Tyler's breathy melodrama makes a strange pairing with Edward Norton's subdued performance, rendering the whole thing inert. And although maybe it's unfair to hold the vagaries of Marvel's distribution history against the couple, it's a little weird that Betty never warrants a mention in the Ruffalo years.
Well, no, I don't fully agree with that. That's very well said.
I don't fully agree with it either. I think they do have chemistry.
Yes, I think so too.
I think a part of it works very well is Edward Norton is a good enough actor that you see him holding back.
Right.
Where he's not playing at that one level, and you have to just Tommy Lee Jones is very good at playing flat, and I don't think that's what he's doing there. You get to see through the cracks a little bit with this thing, but at the same time, she does make some good points.
No, they are good. I definitely think though there is some chemistry there, and I think Liv Tyler's take on it is just a very sweet person. Like I think that she's just when you consider who her father is, obviously that explains a lot. So, I don't know. It's this scene is just random.
Yeah.
Plus, again, because what could have been is a much better moment in the movie.
Yes, and very much so, because what Rob is talking about is a deleted scene. It's called Motel Room Conversation. We talked about this a little off mic and stuff too. We're in the last third of the movie, and this is where I feel like the movie kind of goes off the rails. Like I obviously we're doing this podcast, so it's not like I don't hate this movie at all. We're not here to condemn another, but this is where I feel like things are going a little off track, and I believe this cut is one of those things that shows how off track it was getting, because this deleted scene is amazing.
Excellent.
It is unbelievable, and it has so much character and development and growth and stuff to it, and I cannot believe that they cut this out of the movie. I mean, we're already in this hotel room watching this haircut. You couldn't give us any emotional payoff. So what are we talking about? Well, I'll tell you what we're talking about. It's right after the basically, Hulkus coitus interruptus. Okay, so we can't do this thing. So they just have a conversation, and it becomes a very intimate conversation. So I wrote down a bunch of the lines too because they're so good. I say, if you've been with us this far, if you're on minute 67 and you've been with us on this journey, I say go and watch this scene. It is absolutely fantastic, and you need to see this really to have the context of it too. Of all the stuff there's a lot of scenes that with a bunch of stuff with Leonard in the house you could probably skip, but like this one I think is vital viewing for fans who've been with us for this long. And if you just joined us, hey, you don't know us from anybody, but seriously, go watch this scene. So Betty says, "It's so mysterious, this thing inside you.
Yes.
All the other scars have healed." And so she talks about the scar on his face. And it was like, oh man, we were talking about that early on too. Like, he has a scar on his face.
Right.
Why? For this scene. Like, this is the payoff. Like, he had to go into makeup every day and put that scar on for this scene, and then they cut this scene. So she's like looking at his scar on his cheek and saying, and he says, "No, that's mine. His scars heal, mine don't."
Right. Oh, yeah.
Okay, couple things there. That's the first time that Bruce has really talked about the Hulk and referring to him as a different person. His scars heal, mine don't. The music is a little treacly, so like you say, it's still the violins and so Betty says, yes, they do. They leave a mark, but they stop hurting. And then she pulls her hair away and shows that she still has a scar on her forehead from the first attack where the Hulk showed up. Like when the Hulk emerged and knocked her down, she still has a scar. And Bruce is like, oh, and like he turns away like so ashamed, like, oh, you still have the scar. And she stops him and turns him back and says, the pain didn't last. The not knowing was so much worse. I looked for your face everywhere. I never stopped.
Yeah,
And then Bruce kisses her scar. Come on! That is like, this could have taken this movie, which is really dismissed, and really moved it to the next level. Is it melodramatic? Absolutely, it's melodramatic. Why not play up the romance in the same way you played up, Hulk smashing a Hummer against modern art? Like we're playing it at 10 here, people. If you're going to have the violence at 10, have the romance at 10 as well.
What I don't get is that this scene, okay, for anyone who's ever been involved in a deep, long-term, intimate relationship, if you're married,
yes, this
is the scene that is honestly one of the most beautifully heart-filled moments. I think this will be on a list of a top 5 of heart-filled moments between characters in the MCU.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is amazing.
Because it shows that Betty has forgiven him.
Yes.
She has no anger over the accident, transformation of the Hulk. Like, she has healed. She is over it. Like,
oh my God, it's amazing. It's beautiful.
She's not trying to recapture what they had before. She is okay with being something new. Like, it's, oh God, I can't say enough good things about it. Like, this had to have been, like, we've heard there's some drama, and apparently even Lou Leterrier, I found some interviews with him saying the first half of the movie is mine, the second half is Marvel's. So I think the heavy hand of the studio, I'm not pointing any fingers, I don't know who it was, because Marvel was a very different organization than it is now, came in and said, like, that's got to go. It's just two people talking. It's got to go. We got to get to New York. It was a huge mistake.
No, I really cannot stress enough. Watch this scene. Definitely check it out. This is beautiful chemistry. The characters, everything. It's a shame that this is not in the movie. I don't understand. Yeah.
And I will say, I'll give credit where I believe credit is due, and that's Edward Norton.
Yes.
I think this scene, I'm starting to get a feel of what his writing style is like. And I think this sounds like him. In the minute we're going to talk about in the future, there's another deleted scene coming up real soon, also feels like his style too. I think this is excellent writing. This is really shows depth of character and stuff too. And not to give a shot at Zach Penn, because we love Zach Penn, but like feeling all the things, like basically that's Edward Norton essentially wrote all the dialogue. As, like the plot and stuff was the same, but this is what he wrote. Like, I really feel like he dug in on character and delivered here. I mean, I say this scene is shockingly good for being on a deleted scene.
Totally agreed.
So that brings us to the end of minute 67 and the deleted scene that goes along with it. We're going to be back here for minute 68, and I tell you, minute 68 is just as exciting as this one. There's so much stuff to talk about that one. So, stay subscribed. It's going to be good stuff. In the meantime, if you want to keep the conversation going, we are over on Discord. We have our very own channel, but you can find us lurking on there. Just give us a shout, and we'll continue the Hulk conversation offline. Just head to nextreel.com and follow the link. So thank you all for listening. We'll be back here for minute 68. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.